Good morning. As I move, I feel my chair is awesome. I'd love to see other office furniture chair. I love office furniture. Love office furniture. Love stationery shops. Love office furniture shops. Love stationery shops. Who agrees with that? Who thinks that is a true statement? And agrees with me. I think that's awesome. If I go to a stationary location, unfortunately, we don't have the huge ones in kind of central Tokyo as you see in other places, right? But God, I love them. Going to stationery shops, I could buy stationery all day long. All day long. All right. Hey, Mark. Oh, mate, how are you? I hope you're bloody better. Everything's 100%. Ticker's good. All going well, mate. I know you had a rough patch earlier, man, but you're a fighter, so awesome. Yeah, so office furniture as well. Herman Miller chair. I see these guys using these kind of gaming chairs. A lot of people the younger guys are having these gaming chairs. They've got this whole thing that comes up here, and that looks kind of cool. Looks like a racing car chair. I love the Herman Miller. The Herman Miller chairs, Arion Herman Millers, man. I've had this chair for 13, 14 years. It's just sensational. They're the most comfy chairs on earth. They truly are. Truly the most comfortable. What I wanted to talk about was doing my ketones is the key nowadays. right. So you're on that ketones, paying attention. Yeah, looking after yourself. That's right, mate. Health, you got to have it. What I wanted to talk about was some obvious tactics that you need to employ. I speak to a lot of people and about their LinkedIn strategies. And one of the biggest concerns, one of the biggest things that is going to cause a lot of pain is that when you are going into the market, or when you are choosing LinkedIn as your primary source or one of your primary sources of talent, you've got to understand that it does follow that kind of Pareto's principle, 80-20 rule. Okay, it's really, really important. And unless you're employing strategies to weed out those dormant and dead accounts, the fact is that most industry groups or most targets, client avatars that you're going after will have at least 80% of people being dormant, usually. I think I've seen maybe the best has been like 70%, the lowest. But dormant accounts. Now, what's that's going to mean is that when you go into what's that going to mean? It's Japan English. This is living in Japan. You use simple English to get your point across if you're not using Japanese. Anyway, the point is when you are going into LinkedIn, you want to get to a revenue event as quick as possible. I mean, that's business. That makes smart business, is doing stuff that gets you as close to a revenue event as possible. So going into LinkedIn, you've got to understand that if you are putting your time into a strategy of connections, into a strategy of messaging, and you are focusing on everyone because you've pulled out a search result, any search result is going to be divided. It's going to be full of people that are both dormant and inactive. Now, inactive meaning that they haven't even come on LinkedIn in the last 30 days and posted something. They may have come on LinkedIn and looked, but what I find is the ones that give you the best responses, the ones that are more accepting of messages, the ones that are used to making purchases online, the ones that are using social media as a core, they're posting on LinkedIn. In business, they've chosen LinkedIn as one of their key channels. So therefore, they're the people that you want to target. You want to target those all the time. You want to target those because they are just going to be so much easier to get action with. You don't have to educate someone people that don't use social media well and don't engage and kind of lurk. they're a little bit more difficult. It's not that they're not selling. You know, you can't sell them something. Of course you can. And on LinkedIn, just because someone hasn't posted in 30 days doesn't mean they're not on the platform. But I like to profile, right? We like to profile people and have an avatar, have an understanding. And I've just found that the most likely chance of success with any of your client avatars is to absolutely understand how to filter and prioritize your lists so you are only focusing on those active players. Yes, if you have a small population of targets, then later when you've gone through your active players, go into the market and you can go wider afield, and you can do connection strategies, visibility campaigns, messaging campaigns, whatever your main campaign is, you can go into it. I hate learning some things with him. I hate to take stuff. I know Amar. I saw him in the Vetrepreneurs Group. I know it. I don't like his strategy of send out 1,000 emails, get 3% connecting to. That's not what I'm about. So I watch some of his stuff as well. You know, that's a paid course. You have to, you do his training and stuff. They're into the growth hacking more. I just don't like that method. I find most people, my people that are getting coaching, they're getting 40, 50, 60%, 70% connections and responses, not 3%. Not 3%. And I think at a core thing of like attracting, sending out all these messages, and you say, well, you get 3%, you send out 1,000 messages, you get 3%, that's going to be 30, and out of that you get 15 appointments. I think getting 15 appointments out of 1,000 people, if you're in a market that's really tight, if you're in a geographic market that's really tight, you've just burnt 970 people. That's what you've done. You have blown the chance of going back to 970 people. So yeah, I mean, he's got great strategies and it works. You know, some people want that method. That's fine, Mark. I'm not having a dig at you at all. And I had this conversation with the guy who was promoting him in that group, and I said, and he got shitty at me, and I got shitty at him, and I'm not talking to him anymore. I'm taking my bat and ball and going home. But that was an interesting point that they made, was doing that kind of mass connection. I think geographic. I mean, looking at your market. As I said, you could use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The problem is you're limited by geography. And when you're limited by geography, the numbers are way, way, way low. And therefore you'd have to then, as I said, go into those third party, those like architectures, the interior designers, anyone that is doing anything with house and property associated with that, who could then introduce you as a service. That would be your target. And then of course, yes, small retailers and stuff. I think LinkedIn, where you're going to make your money is truly Facebook, Instagram, targeted advertising geographically by population in your geographic area. That's going to be the majority of it. You could do it with LinkedIn, but it's going to be, the ROI is going to be slower, and it's because you've got a very specific niche with a small geographic As I went to Australia, if we ever went to Australia, we'd get divorced. Right. You would just get the geographic locations is too small for you, I think, for LinkedIn to be really, really effective. My point, going back to it, is that by focusing on these active players, that's why you avoid these send 1,000 messages, get 3%. Now, also, this guy professes, like, he gives these numbers like, okay, send 1,000, get 3%, that will connect with you, and so that's 30 out of 3,000 out of 1,000, and then you can close 15. Really, 50%. That happens. People get 50% appointments. I guarantee you, 50 out of those 15 appointments, but if you made them a day, 2 days later, 50% of them wouldn't even show up. So, the numbers just don't, they don't, I just don't believe them. I see it in my group, these, the guys that in my master coaching group, we get into these conversations because we're targeting specific people. We have a profile that is set up in a way that is talking to specific people with specific messaging. And then we're targeting people, and we're only going after the most active players to give us the best chance. Plus, you've got to think, like, where are your active players hanging out in LinkedIn? What are they doing? Where are they? What are they following? What are they looking at? And, obviously what you want to find on LinkedIn is are people that are interested in your topics or your products or the services that you provide. So you find content, you find posts that are around your content or are around your services or products that you provide. So it's very easy going into LinkedIn with the right strategy is by clearly, identify people who are engaging and are interested in topics that are related to your services and products, and get in front of them, connect with them, get visible to them, message with them. They are the people that will get you massive conversion, that will allow you to get into conversations and determine if they are a fit, for you. With online consumers, I can make a killing with sales. Yeah, look, Mark, it's not for everyone. Literally, if I look at my, like yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in the last few days, I've spoken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've spoken to 11 people, 12 people about coaching. They came to me to see if we're a fit. I did not offer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the 11 I didn't offer. 7 out of 11. That's because by looking at their business model, looking at what they're doing, LinkedIn was not the right fit for them. Their market's too small. Their market's not active enough. Like someone who said, okay, I want to make a killing. I want to get with dentists in the USA. Well, I can tell you there's like 70,000 of them, but only about 700 of them have posted anything on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Now, with a population of 700, how many of them can sustain your business and have a predictable business out of? Yes, you could growth hack them, get email lists, and then you just go through the usual. It's kind of fun. Everyone does all these growth hacking techniques, and then they just take them off, and then they put them into they put them into the funnel, the ordinary funnel, the common funnel that they already have, right? And what they've done is just destroy, or they haven't utilized the part of LinkedIn that makes LinkedIn great. Because what they've done is they've taken that person out and they've put them into a funnel straight away. That's all their mission is. So you're following this. LinkedIn offers you this ability to establish yourself as an authority, to get instant credibility, to have an already flow of traffic coming past, and you just got to divert some of it. You can guide them through your online reputation. You can have call to actions. There's so many parts. But what a lot of growth hackers do, it's like, okay, connect, get the email, put it out, and then put it into your sales funnel, which generally is a cold email. Maybe they'll make a custom audience and run Facebook ads to it. And then they wonder why they get 3%. As opposed to if I today, and I did a test and I showed that I had the results on this Facebook page before I started the script. The page is still there. The example is still there. If I want to connect and speak with founders, startup founders, I know that with a certain message that I have, that I will get a minimum of 40 to 50%, well, over 40% of connecting with me. And then I know that I will have a minimum of 60% of them getting into discussions with me. So if I send out 50, I know that I'm going to get about 20 to 25 at least within the first day. And this is not even going on, but within the first day, usually within the first hour or two of doing my strategy, that I'll be connected. And then out of them, I will be doing conversations with about 10 to 12 of them, right? And that's not 3%. That's a hell of a lot more when I start to add it up as more come in during the process. And not only that, they get to see who you are. They go to your profile. You have that temporary influence, all those great things. And look, I don't want to bag Omar Mark. He's got strategies that work. They do work. It's just that I want to use the whole benefits of LinkedIn. Like it's got its own intricacies. It's got its own benefits. And if you quickly just go in there, grab someone and put them into your funnel, you've just abandoned and not utilized any of the beauty that LinkedIn provides you. Yeah. It's just really, really important. Yeah. And that's what conversations on LinkedIn in Messenger, that's what they're about. They are about getting into those conversations, and that's where the money is made. And I show my coaching students exactly. Don't value vomit. Don't value vomit. That's what some of these other trainers do. They teach the value vomit. They say connect with them, provide all this value to them, these downloads, these clickables, these blah, blah, blah. And, 3% are going to like it. Yeah, 90%. So that means 97% think you are spam. 97% think you are spam. Like, who wants to be known by 97% of the people as spam? It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. But, it gets taught. So, yeah, that's right. People buy you, not your rhetoric. It's true, mate. People buy you. People buy your confidence. People buy the confidence that they feel. They know that you can help them, that you can solve a problem for them. That's what they buy. Absolutely. And an email rarely does that, but an engagement on LinkedIn does that as well. Wherever you're, in any method, whether it's a real life, whether it's word of mouth, whether it's Facebook advertising, and that leads to a conversation, great. That's when people are going to buy. And again, you've got to take them through your process, a sales process. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how followers. That's exactly right, mate. That's why I see these people that connect. They got 24,000, 30,000, and then just for the sake, and they want to show, hey, I got all these connections. But the key I was talking about, guys, is with your targets, really think about where are my targets hanging out? Okay, and what that means is, what are they looking at? What are they following? What are they writing about? Who are they following? And follow them. Get connected with them. Right? Understand what the current conversation is about your industries, about the products and services that you have. Know what the conversation in the market is. Use BuzzSumo. Find out what the latest things are. Use Google Trends. Find out in your industry. Stay connected so then you can be out the front. And the great thing about LinkedIn now, you can search for that on LinkedIn, guys. In the search bar, you can search for posts. You don't have to search for people. You can search for posts. And there's a big hint for you. Where are your people hanging out? If I wanted to find someone hanging out on LinkedIn now that's talking about LinkedIn strategies, how do I do that? Well, there's a search bar and I can find posts. And who do I want to find? Well, and what post do I want to find? Well, I want to find those posts where there's 1,000 likes and there's 300 comments. Because do you reckon in there, my potential client targets are commenting, are liking? And what does that tell me? It tells me that they are active. Not only are they active on LinkedIn, but they too are commenting, liking, and taking an interest in exactly the topic that I have interest in coaching. So guys, start to get creative with your LinkedIn. Start to think how, where my client personas, who my client personas are, what are they thinking, what's going on in their minds at the moment, what's impacting their industry, what are the key issues, content that is getting discussed by the market, and then going into LinkedIn and finding that and finding where these people are hanging out and then joining in that engagement and then start to be seen as an opinion leader. And then you'll start to get tagged. You'll start to get people saying, hey, go and speak to him about that. Now that happens on Facebook for me, which is awesome. It happens on LinkedIn for me. One of my current students as well, she just got tagged for the first time. She's just transferred from one career to another. We reframed her position, totally changed the way she appears now on LinkedIn. It makes her look like an absolute authority. And it's only been a couple of months, right? And now she's gone from one completely different career to a coaching career. And today, boom, she gets tagged by a random stranger asking for her opinion. Everyone that sees that and who follows that woman, knows that woman, is in that community, now sees this person as the expert and as the authority. So that's the beauty that LinkedIn can provide you. And if you start to really think about the people you're going after and you get rid of this mentality of this kind of growth hacking, and just getting rid of all the mess and just focus on active players and focus on those who are paying attention to trends, who are engaging on LinkedIn, you will get massive conversion rates. And you'll be able to, and there's a technique I don't want to share here because I've done it with my paid coaching students, and it's I want to honor them. But I tell you what, that strategy, you're going to see huge 60, 70, 80% easy conversion rates. Imagine that you reach out to someone. How's this? Reaching out to someone on LinkedIn who is an exact ideal client avatar, who is active, who is currently interested and talking about specific topics that interest you and your service or product provides, and you convert at 60, 70, even 80, 85%. That's a conversation, not 3%, not spray and pray. That's the difference, and that's what that's what I believe in. I like my method. And I'm not a growth hacker. I mean, I could have 30,000 people by the end of the year if I wanted, easy. I spend more time deleting people off as I'm like, oh, why am I connected to that person? They're not offering. It's not about that. It's about it's not about the size. It's about how you use it. And Luke, you're absolutely right. It's about conversations. It's all about that. It's all about the conversations, baby. It is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Spray and pray. Right? It's not about I feel like a weatherman. It's not about the spray and pray. So, look, there is a place for growth hacking. There's people that all they want to do is get massive distribution, and that's the future. I mean, Gary Vee talks about it, and I should pay more attention to it, and I should get on Instagram, and I should, but I don't want to be huge and big and all that kind of stuff. It's just not, I don't need that much. Yes, I'm ambitious and, look, I've already got businesses that make 7 figures. I've been doing that for years. I've had business for years doing 7 figures. So, how much do you need? It just becomes kind of ego-driven. I don't need a yacht. I don't need a helicopter. I just don't need that stuff. I don't want that stuff. It's not important to me. Some people are, and hats off. Growth hackers, go for it. bloody, you guys deserve to be, billionaires if you get there. You deserve it. A billionaire, they're incredible and they're amazing and that's awesome. But what I'm coaching, guys, is I'm trying to coach realistic strategies, real strategies for real business people. My target is not growth hackers. My target are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that are running real businesses and offering real value and they've got great ambition and goals, but it's not this dominate the world type of stuff. I mean, that's such a small percentage. We see these people on LinkedIn, we see these people a lot that we follow as opinion leaders. And unfortunately, what it does is it skews our thinking a bit. It makes us believe that we have to be like that to be successful. And you really don't have to be like that to be successful. Your market is smaller than you think. The amount of people that you need to service and provide is smaller than you think. You can make $1 million in a year pretty, I don't want to say easy because it's not, but it's not that difficult to please enough people to make $1 million. Yeah, it's not that difficult. And whatever the reason, $1 million seems to be that magic number. It's there. But if you really want to be happy with your stuff, stop comparing. Comparing is the death of your joy. Comparing is the fastest way to kill your joy and success. Absolutely, all the time. And I just feel that a part of people, entrepreneurs coming online, is that you really have to have the clear understanding of your why, of why you're doing this and where you want to get to with your business, and then reverse engineer your business and your activities according to that why and what you want to achieve. Because you tend to find that you don't need to have as much money as you thought. You don't need to have as much success as you thought to be successful. And I tell you what, that's bloody liberating. That's liberating. That's absolutely liberating. That's, don't worry about him having a Lamborghini. I mean, my wife won't let me buy a freaking car like that. She just wouldn't let me. I got the money. I got the money this last month, over $250,000 a month. We got the money. Do you think I can buy one? No way. She kicked my ass. She'd see that as the most ridiculous investment. I'd love one. I'd love to be driving around. I don't even use my car now. But that's the thinking. That's the mentality. Yeah, Maz, I've got a freaking Toyota. I don't need to drive. I'd love one if she let me. I'm just trying to get a Range Rover. Like, how do I get that? She wants to, we're in Japantown, we get Japanese cars. How can you argue with that? Say, well, get a Lexus then. That's Japanese. But that's the thing, guys, that we have to really get to know ourselves better, know what our dreams are, know what our goals are. Yes, it's great to reward yourself materialistically. I've rewarded myself with, my big thing is a lot of travel. I love travel, and yes, I've spent good money on travel. I've spent over $100,000 on travel in a year. And I do good travel. When I do travel, I do good travel. I find semi-celebrities. I get them to host me. I go first class or business class at least. I hire private guides. I don't do groups. I get translators. I get expert. I do good travel. I've been to every continent on Earth, yes, including Antarctica. I've been there with penguins. I've been in the middle of Botswana with Mike Penman. He's just died recently. God bless his soul. From Animal Planet, Mad Mike and Mark. From TV, I loved him, so I tracked him down, got him to host me and 3 others on a private safari in Botswana. I've been into Egypt, where it was a private tour from the top to the bottom. Had experts from the ministry at every location meeting. I had Japanese translator, English translator. That's the shit that I love to do. I'll spend money like that because those experiences. I took my mum, my dad, my wife, my brother-in-law, my mother-in-law. I do that stuff. That's what I get off on. It's not having a fancy car and showing, you know, your swimming pool and crap like that. I own this building. You know, get out the front and do a photo of the building. Wow, ooh, look at me. It's such trashy. And I usually find it those that are the kind of the most insecure and the most are the newest. The newest entrepreneurs seem to be like that in this market. But anyway, I got off track. Sorry. So guys, LinkedIn, as I said, do this. Don't start, really narrow down on where your people are hiding, where they're hanging out on LinkedIn. Okay. Get ahead of the trends of your industry, track them down on LinkedIn, do searches. As I said, you can search for posts, you can search for content on LinkedIn. All right. If you weren't doing that, start doing that. Get in front of the trends. Find out where those people are hanging out. Focus only on the active players. That will get you close to a revenue event as fast as possible. And that's where it's at, because people get then really sick and tired of LinkedIn and just get sad and move on. And yes, travel is the jam, Luke. Absolutely. And some great comments, Mark. I like that. Your comfort zone versus what there is why you don't succeed. That's so true. Success is invariably right past that comfort zone, but it usually sits like right here. It's really close, and you just got to go that little bit further. It really is the truth there for sure. So cool. All right. Any questions? Any points? There's some great comments, some great likes and loves. This is the first time I've seen so many liking and loving. I love it. I love you all. A couple quick announcements. One thing I am going to do, and I'm going to copy this from Landon Porter. He's a sales dude, guerrilla marketing, I think his group is called. Can't exactly. I'm sorry, Landon. He's really quite a scary guy, so I don't want to getting too angry. But he has a great thing when people join. He has a treasure hunt. He calls it a treasure hunt. And it's a series of videos you go through. And it's basically like a mini course. He talks about all the different types of marketing, attraction marketing and all the, so it's great. And you get to see who he is. And it's like a sales funnel. It basically screens people out. If you don't like him, don't be in his group and abuse him and say, he'd kill you anyway, probably. So it doesn't matter. But I'm going to probably, not going to probably, it's so bad. I'm going to make some small orientation video. I'm not going to call it the treasure hunt. I'm going to come up with another name, but I'm going to lead people. So when you come into my LinkedIn, into this group, there's going to be a series of interviews. Okay. And Victor, you search in normallinkedin.com. You can search in Sales Navigator, but if you just go to the linkedin.com page in the search bar, put it in a keyword, press post instead of people, it will give you all the searches. So awesome source, yeah, that's it. So for Landon, what I like is he has that series of videos, and it walks it through. Because I get the same kind of questions when people join, when they first land, like how do I get? It's the same thing over and over and over again. And so I'm going to probably put a series of 4 or 5 key short videos that when people come in, there is a treasure hunt. It will be a treasure hunt, but I'm going to call it something else. Don't want to copy Landon totally. An orientation funnel where people can go through to answer some of the basic questions and also to see me, see my style. And if they like, you stay. If you don't like me, just piss off, because I don't really care. Because when you're you, then you can be you all the time. I don't have to play around. So I'm going to do that. Another thing, I'm going to open up a messaging bot soon. There is I have made a download. I've shared it with a couple of people, including Marius. I don't know if he's still watching at the moment. And it is a download, and what it is called, one second. Oh, let me find it for you. It is called, all right, here it is. Let me bring that up. I just wanted to show you. Are you still here, Marius? Maybe he's gone. It is a PDF that I'm going to make available to everyone who joins my messenger bot, it helps weed out people for sure. Of course, when I need my computer to work, it's not working. Here it is. Let me show you. It is this. It's going to be horrible, I'm sure, on the screen. Oh, why isn't it showing my screen? Show my current application. Sometimes this Ecamm stuff, not working. All right, back to me. It is called the Super Secrets LinkedIn won't tell you about, but you should know. All right, and what I've done is I've included 10 actionable secret hacks on LinkedIn that even LinkedIn won't tell you about. And I've given it to a few people, got good feedback. Marius gave me good feedback. I added some stuff that he mentioned, so thanks, Marius, for that. And I am going to make that available via download, via Messenger. And I've included some really really cool things in there. If I could only share my screen so you could see, I don't know why it's not showing. You can see my screen now, but for some reason it is not showing what I wanted. Show my entire screen. That's so bizarre. You can see my screen. You can't see anything else. But it's really cool. It's a cool guide. And as I said, I'm going to launch that in the next day or two. It'll be called the Super Secrets LinkedIn won't tell you about, but you should know. 10 actionable secret hacks on LinkedIn that even LinkedIn is not telling you about. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll have that running. So cool. A lot of new stuff coming up. The treasure hunt. Any names? Let me know. Any names. Also, another thing. I see the 2,000 Forbes membership. No one else I know has that. Yeah, there's people in it. There's only about 300 across the globe, different areas, but it's cool. So yeah, thanks, Marius. Thanks for that, mate. So another thing, so Messenger bot, I'm going to have that running, and I'll be doing announcements through there, and I'll be doing stuff, which is, yeah, no, I have fun. I'm so bad, Mark. I'm always like that. And I'm going to have that Messenger bot running. But also a question, one of the guys the other day, I want to start getting more people into the group. Obviously, I don't want to have to spend money on advertising for it, but I want to get more people into the group. But I want people from, and I don't want to come across as I'm this kind of racist dude or anything like that. But I do want a lot more people from the American market, the Australian market, the UK market, and Canada market. And it's not because I don't like Asians or Africans or Europeans, other Europeans. I'm Italian. My dad's Italian. I'm first generation Australian. My wife is Korean Japanese. My kids are half. I'm in Asia. I want that market is where my market is, and that's where I make my money. So if there's ways that I can run events and it kind of targets those markets more and allows people to invite those type of people into this group, let me know. I'd love to see. I've saw Up Viral, which looks really cool, but I'm not sure how to limit by geography, because I don't want a whole heap of people coming into the group, because I find that certain areas they don't contribute. They just don't contribute as much. And my target, that's what my target is. I know where my target is and who I resonate with and where I make my money with in the future. So that would be cool. All right. Great. So anyway, thanks guys. I'm going to go to the gym now. This is the first day back after being sick. I'm going to go right away after this and have my first workout after being sick for the last few days. I'm fully better, and I'm going to make this happen. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the loves. Thanks for the thumbs up. I hope the start of this live gave you some really good insights and gave some clues on how to get in there and do some strategies. I can't reveal everything because I've got a different group that pay me to tell them all the juicy stuff. But hopefully I can guide you to avoid some things. That you shouldn't be doing, and just get you start thinking exactly like, where are my targets hanging out? What are they talking about? and how can I get in front of them and where to get in front of them, because that will change your LinkedIn. And go for real relationships. Go for those real relationships, not for the 3%er, not for the 3%er. All right, I'm out of here. Good stuff. I'll read through the comments later as well. So have a good one, everyone. See you later.